Now, our other top story this morning is the COVID crisis, and as we go to air right now, 75,000 people in the Penrith region of Sydney cannot leave their local area. The Premier insists next month should still look very different, but now there are concerns about the virus spreading west.
Tough restrictions in New South Wales have been extended. Parts of Penrith in the city's west join 8 hotspot councils in a harsher lockdown. The state recorded 262 new local cases. At least 46 were infectious in the community, and there's been another death, taking the toll to 28. Victoria remains in lockdown limbo today after 11 new local cases. None of them were isolating. Southeast Queensland has reopened, but Cairns in the state's far north is now in a 3-day lockdown after a taxi driver was infectious in the region for 10 days. And the nation's first drive-through vaccine clinic opens today, while AstraZeneca will be offered to under 40s in Victoria. And 1 million doses of Moderna are expected within weeks. Here's Koshi.
Live now to our team of reporters for the very latest. Samantha Bredd, you're at St Mary's, one of the new Sydney suburbs now in lockdown. Tough new restrictions for thousands of residents in the city's west.
Yes, Koshi, good morning. 75,000 people here in Penrith are waking up to these much harsher restrictions this morning. That spans across 12 suburbs, including Caddens, Kingswood, Orchard Hills, St Clair and St Mary's. All these people won't be able to travel more than 5 kilometres away from their homes, and they will have to wear masks not only indoors but outdoors as well. Still, the New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian is hopeful that we will be able to get out of this lockdown by next month. This, of course, is contingent on exactly how many people come forward for the vaccine. And today we will be seeing thousands of HSC students come forward to get their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine at a pop-up vaccination hub. Of course, they've had a very tumultuous year. But Koshi, in some good news for some people, the New South Wales Premier has flagged that if more people come forward for the vaccine, we could see things like hairdressers and nail salons reopen very soon.
Can't wait for that. All right, Nathan Curry, you're at Australia's first drive-through vaccine clinic in Melbourne. The new hub is gearing up to receive its first patients.
It is, Koshi. It opens here at 8:30 and it should be a real game changer for Victoria and potentially the nation. They have set it up at an old Bunnings out here in Melbourne. What it'll allow people to do is pull up, they can pull down their window, get their jab, and then once they've parked for 15 minutes, they'll be free to go on their way. So hopefully it will reduce the risk of any transmissions taking place at vaccination centres. The other game changer in Victoria from this morning is 18 to 39-year-olds will be able to get AstraZeneca jabs from state-run vaccination centres. As long as they give their informed consent, then they'll be good to go as well. Yesterday we had less than 20,000 people roll up their sleeves and get the jab, so hopefully we can speed things up here in Victoria. Koshi?
Bianca Stone, in Brisbane, restrictions ease in southeast Queensland, but there's a stat lockdown up north.
Koshi, good morning. Authorities are pretty concerned about the situation in Cairns. A taxi driver has tested positive. He was infectious in the community for 10 days. So health authorities have put them into a 3-day snap lockdown. That started at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. At the same time, lockdown was lifted here in southeast Queensland. Plenty of people came out to celebrate the end of the lockdown. You could be forgiven for thinking we're in lockdown for 8 months and not 8 days. I'm able to hang out with my friends and have a few drinks, and it's been a good time. I've been able to chat to everyone, so having lots of fun.
Definitely get drunk. That's number one thing. Just have a good time.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, lockdown was just torturous, I think. But exciting that at least we get to be out of it, unlike Sydney. We probably shouldn't celebrate too much. There are still plenty of restrictions in southeast Queensland for at least the next 2 weeks. Mask wearing is mandatory, including at high schools. High school students wearing masks for the first time today. You're only allowed to have groups of 10 people at your homes. Weddings and funerals are capped at 20. There's no community sport, but you can go and watch the footy again. Stadiums are back to 50% capacity, and that means Queensland may well just snatch the NRL Grand Final. It could be held right here at Suncorp Stadium. Peter V'landys says Queensland is the front runner. Koshi?
Okay. All right, Bianca, thank you.
She says with a smile.